And now let's bring in political analyst and lecturer at the Central University of Technology, Leeto Nthoba. And he joins us now via our telephone line for some analysis when it comes to that keynote address from ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. Professor, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. What do you make of the message that Ramaphosa has sent out tonight, saying that they will continue to prioritize all South Africans in their January 8th statement that will be delivered tomorrow?
Good evening. I think when you look at what the president did today, it was very important to give over a very muted but not as boisterous speech towards the ANC, right? Because I think the biggest challenge that the president faces is that he goes to these provinces, last year it was the Free State, now it's the Northwest, which are shadows of their former self. And so you are trying to balance the message as the president, not to be too flashy and braggy because of the conditions that the people are living in, yet you need to give a message of hope and strength to the ANC, and I think he walked that tightrope very well.
And Mr. Nthoba, I mean, when you look at this message, it also comes at a very crucial time for the ANC. And you make reference to something very important, and that is the issue around service delivery, particularly in the Northwest. And that has come to the fore during this week when they've been crisscrossing the province. And certainly the ANC here has a huge task ahead, now that we find ourselves in an election year, and that something has got to do directly with service delivery in our municipalities.
Definitely, and the ANC, unfortunately, it seems in the past couple of years has lost its imagination, right? Not just when it comes to service delivery, but it's lost its imagination as far as how we can imagine how our people can live differently in their conditions currently. So when you're looking at the Northwest, for instance, you see how the whole province has dilapidated. Stadia, airport, everything has gone down the drain when you're looking at that province. And so other than the finances that the president speaks about, you need to reimagine how these spaces can be rearticulated to be something other than they were and something new. But as well, the ANC needs to reimagine itself as well because the challenges that they're facing internally are so big.
And Mr. Nthoba, when it comes to issues that will be dealt with in that January 8th statement, and we heard that the president saying that unfortunately he has to leave that gala dinner tonight to go and, of course, finalize that January 8th statement that will be delivered tomorrow morning. What are your expectations when it comes to dealing with the serious issues and challenges mainly affecting a number of people, and particularly the youth in South Africa, that comes to issues of unemployment, which is something that he mentioned in his speech tonight. There's serious issues of poverty and the serious issues as well of inequality. What do you think when it comes to his January 8th statement message tomorrow, how he will navigate these areas?
Tomorrow he's going to have to not even just walk a fine line. Tomorrow he's going to have to bring up a Spider-Man act, right? Because there are such big gaps in between the ANC and general society that he must try to pull together. Firstly, there's the chasm between the ANC and the SACP, where the SACP is threatening to go at it by themselves to the polls and challenge the ANC, and that makes the ANC weaker. He has to speak about the ANC and how it's faring in the GNU and what that means for the future of the ANC and ANC members. He also has to walk this fine line, which has been something that has been destroyed internally, right? Where you see Gwede Mantashe stepping all over his pants, speaking about how unemployed people have been lazy at their attempts of getting jobs, and thus they need to step up their own efforts and stop looking to government. That is a big blunder that has brought unemployment way into the center of South African discourse, and what exactly unemployment means to the ANC and what it means to the general populace. And I think that gap between the general populace, which is very young and very active in the elections that are going to come, is going to be something that he must bridge as well.
And Mr. Nthoba, how will this January 8th statement find expression during a time where the ANC does not enjoy a 50-plus majority on a national scale? Previously, the January 8th statement finds itself in the State of the Nation address, and that's sort of the directive as well from the ANC in terms of policy. But now it finds itself under a government of national unity. How will it ensure that some of the priorities in that January 8th statement finds itself in cabinet?
And I think that's going to be one of the things, is to hear how the president starts the January 8th speech, right? I think he has to acknowledge the weakness. It cannot be coming out and say, he cannot be coming out and saying, well, the ANC is strong, because it's not as strong as it's been in a very long time. And so he must acknowledge that there is a weakness that has come over the ANC, and that weakness has to be overcome. But now it can't just be overcome by might, right? That was what the ANC would always do. Just come into an election year and gear on its big machinery and bully everybody out of the way. It seems now they're going to have to be very tactical in how they, one, enhance the message of the ANC, but secondly, make sure that that message is understood by the people. This is why he mentioned a branch from somewhere in Rustenburg, where he then says, try to carry the example to the ANC members, that the members of that branch are not acting as leaders of the society, but also teachers of the society. He mentioned a member of a party called Tabang, right? He said this guy was very impressive in how he engages the people. And I think that's how he's trying to lead the ANC now, into the leadership of bringing people closer to the ANC, and not necessarily the leadership of hovering above and letting people praise you.
And as we wrap up, Mr. Nthoba, we find ourselves in an election year, and when you analyze the posture of the president this week and particularly tonight, can the ANC claw back its support during the upcoming elections?
It's going to be very difficult, because the people are still disgruntled about the same things, and I think now people are starting to notice that their complaints are the same year in, year out, election season in, election season out. And so the biggest problem that the ANC is going to face now is that they must now find leaders who are, one, accountable, but secondly, proactive the people. And I think that has been the thing that's been lacking the most in the ANC, is that their leaders have not been proactive to what the people need, and thus there's this huge chasm that has grown between them and the people. As far as politics of national unity, of unity politics, I think we're going to deepen from here on out, because when you look at how governments that are similar to those of South Africa act when there is unity government, that extends through even to the municipal level.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nthoba. That is Leeto Nthoba. He is a political analyst and lecturer at the Central University of Technology, just giving us some analysis from the ANC president's address tonight at that ANC gala dinner ahead of the main celebrations of the party's January 8 statement that will be delivered tomorrow morning.